So, you know that a lot of people, they really don't understand the difference between the power of what Illuminati and the battle and war of hip hop is really all about. I believe that everybody, a 90 something percent of artists within hip hop itself, rather they end up selling their soul, and only a 5 to a 10% end up regretting that they sold their soul, and then they start speaking the truth about what's going on and they get eliminated. But you have an 80 something percent that are satisfied with selling their soul, and they do the works of the dirty deeds of the devil, and most probably, what's up, man? What they do, big dog? Thank you for coming through, man. I appreciate it, man. And I'll be honest with you, they are so fine and dandy with it that they start to represent it in so many disgusting ways that they feel that it's authentic. They feel that it's a symbolization to represent a quote or Freemasonry or just anything that has to do with that diabolical representation or meaning or just anything to that significant, you know what I'm saying, standard. And I remember one time I was looking at a Tupac video, and my mom told me, hey, why is Tupac throwing up the diamond like that? Which is the third, is the RCNI. You know what I'm saying? It's the symbol that Illuminati uses. I said, well, Mom, at the time, I really didn't know what the Illuminati was or what they represent or what quote and what rituals or anything that they did. But once I started seeing that, that's when I started doing my investigations and studying what it was all about. And come to find out, these motherfuckers are diabolical. And these are some of the most wealthiest, most powerfulest people that we would never see. We would never even see their faces, who they are, their names, anything. And the reason why is because these people are so powerful that they don't want to be seen. These are the people that paid athletes, actors, rappers, singers, government officials, people that you would never anticipate that are these type of people. KRS-One had a theory of Illuminati, and he said that Illuminati are not people that are within that statistics and category. He was in the school talking about these type of, you know what I'm saying, perspectives, and he was like, the Illuminati are scared of us because without us, the Illuminati would have never been where they at today. I'm going to tell you something. The Illuminati comes from the Knights Templars. I don't know if y'all ever heard of the Knights Templars. The Knights Templars were, warriors that used to fight for kings. And after a certain amount of battles, the kings just felt that the Knights Templars didn't need to be used. So what they did, they set them up and they gathered to, eliminate the Knights Templars. And they didn't kill all of them. And some of them separated. Some of them went to Italy. Some of them went to the United States. And others escaped, throughout the world. In 100-year period, they gathered up, and these are where the founding fathers come from, and that's when scientists and lawyers and government officials and everything with that genre got together and formed it. You know what I'm saying? Because at first it was the Knights Templars, and then they called it the elites, the Illuminatis. You know what I'm saying? And they say that they got good Illuminati elites, and then they got the bad, evil, ritual, bad Illuminati elites, which represents what we're seeing today when it comes to the music culturism or the Hollywood culturism or any type of culturism that pertains to the higher perspective of what the naked eye can see. And in reality, a lot of rappers fall for that okie doke. They want to go ahead and think, okay, I'm a great rapper, I'm a great artist, you know what I'm saying? I have the dream, I have the passion, I have the giveaway, you know what I'm saying? God has blessed me for people to hear me, my voice is heard, I'm respected, I want to get out the hood, I want to get out the ghetto, you know, I want to get out of my mom and my people's out of poverty, you know what I'm saying? I want to live the better life, but it all comes with a price. And if you don't know what I mean, just look at every rapper that has lost their life, or every singer that has lost their life, or every single rapper or anyone that has engaged themselves in these criterias, how their lives change dramatically and so prospectively. And as you can see, Kanye West even, you know what I'm saying, exposed Jay-Z, Beyonce, Eminem has exposed them, K Rhino has exposed them, Immortal Technique has exposed them, Prodigy, God bless his soul, has exposed them, even King Von has exposed them, you know what I'm saying? And you can see what happened to King Von, you know what I mean? And King Von lived the life that he knew he was going to die young, just like Tupac. That's why he wrote so many songs so fast. And if you listen to that song, Hail Mary, he is specifically taking shots at the Illuminati. He is specifically taking shots at the elites, at the ones that hold these rituals, these satanic, diabolical Freemasonry rituals, which is you giving your soul, giving your everything. It's basically you becoming a fucking turmoil slave when it comes to these people who you sign your lives to. And if you don't understand who these people are, I suggest you study them. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, which she's not in hip hop, but is a hip hop artist that is her manager, which is Akon. Her name is Lady Gaga. Have you seen every time Lady Gaga does a video or even goes to the Grammy, how more of a ritual of a Illuminati, goddess, devilish, diabolical, devilish, image that she presents herself with? Exactly my point. You understand? And that's why they try to keep Kanye West hush, because they knew that Kanye West knew too much. Just like Tupac. Tupac went in the ritual. He studied what it was. He saw what it was. And that's when he started exposing them, because at first Tupac did not believe in Illuminati. When Tupac got caught up in that fake ass rape charge that he was in Rikers Island in New York, they were telling him, you don't know who Illuminati is? You don't know who the elites are? You don't know that these are the people that control Hollywood, control the industry, control banks, businesses, entourages that you've never seen before in your life? Tupac was like, man, fuck these people. I don't care about these people. But guess what? Tupac was so wrong. And once he saw that these people really exist, that's when he put two and two together. COINTELPRO, the FBI, the CIA, the government officials, how, the Black Panthers got destroyed, how John F. Kennedy got assassinated, how Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X got assassinated. You feel me? And it's not only that. These new artists of today. But I'm going to start by saying it all started with rock and roll sacrifices and rituals. And then it moved on to hip hop. And it circulated hip hop so bad that now, instead of being a secret, instead of keeping it on a hush hush, it's represented from corner to corner, from side to side of every parallel part of the fucking earth. There's no hiding it no more. You cannot hide a 33rd Freemason, a 32nd Freemason, or any Illuminati ritual. That's skulls and bones. That's what the Bush families are. You know what I'm saying? Obama is a 33rd Freemasonry. Jay-Z is a 33rd degree Freemasonry. Beyonce, they call her Sasha Fierce. Do you know who Sasha Fierce is? Just like Nicki Minaj. She has like 12 personalities. And one of her greatest personalities is Roman. Who is Roman? Roman is used as one of the satanic rituals of Illuminati, just like the rock and rollers used to do in the late 70s and 80s. And for those of you who don't not understand where I'm coming from, these rituals are done because it's for them to let you know that your soul, that you as a person, mind, spiritually, mentally, physically, you belong to them. You are to do their works. You are to represent for them. You are to diabolically give up everything that means what your life once was. It's not no more what you dream of, what you want to be, what you want to accomplish, what you want to establish, what you want to, you know what I'm saying, sustain, and how you want to build your legacy, how you want to build your career. No, they do that. They're the ones that tell you what to do, how to do it, how to dress, how to come, how to live, how to feel, how to talk, how to dress. They do everything to that nature. And the reason why is because it's your soul that they want. You see, when you put Christ in that criteria, it's no good for them. When you mention Jesus Christ, don't you see that Kanye West, when he did that song, Jesus Walk, how everything was going so perfectly fine? Because they defined God in that perspective to make people not see what's really going on. After they give you that status, after they give you that algorithm that you on top of the world, you have to give something in sacrifice. Look what happened to P. Diddy. Look what happened to Biggie. Look what happened to so many other rappers who had to be sacrificed to get to the point of where it is today, especially when it comes to Sean Combs. You understand? And if y'all don't know, I will go deeper. You got President Trump, you got the Bush family and administration, and you got the Epstein, everybody that knew Epstein, and you got even, oh my God, what's the Playboy Mansion dude? I forgot, Hugh Hefner. You got all those people, including with big government officials that are involved in this. And guess what? Everything that comes around and the scenario within the hip hop world, they have a piece of that. They gather themselves because they feed themselves off that. You understand? And if you break a rule, if you break any ritual, if you break any promise, your fame starts fading away. You start getting exposed. You start going to jail. You start losing your career. You start going broke. Your bank account will be seized. Look what happened to Cat Williams. Doesn't that tell you enough? Cat Williams says in 2023 and in 2024 that all the truth will be exposed. Well, the Illuminati shit has been exposed for so long. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, back then it was so secretive. Why you think when you hear certain rappers make that hushing sound like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant used to do that hushing sound? That means if you break the oath, if you break the secret, if you break the code, you will be killed or one of your family members will be sacrificed. Why you think LeBron James does not want to retire from basketball? Because he knows he has to sacrifice himself, one of his family, or something that he loves. Just like Kanye West had to sacrifice his mother, and he said it in a concert. I had to sacrifice my mother for a happy meal, and I got a great deal. But you know what? Now he's suffering. Now he's going crazy. That's why they wanted to put him in a crazy mental institution, but he was able to make it out. And you know what's the return of his karma? Look at his daughter now, losing her fucking mind. So you see, it's all within the perspective of how these people control your whole life. And that's what they want. They did it with Michael Jackson. They did it with Prince. They did it with Whitney Houston. They do it with every artist that there is. And especially when they engage themselves in that hip hop world. And the reason why is because they hate hip hop. They can't stand hip hop. They make it seem like they do because the hip hop industry makes some billions and billions of dollars every year. Before, in the 80s, when hip hop came out in the late 78, 79, you know what I'm saying? With Sugar Hill Gang, hip hop, the hip it to the hip. Ain't nobody want to, you know what I'm saying, fucking published the Fat Boys, the Beastie Boys, you know what I'm saying, Run DMC. They didn't care. Any corporation that was Columbia Records, Artistic Records, Sony Records, they didn't want to deal with hip hop people. But when they saw that it was making numbers, that it was progressing millions of fans and viewers, and that's another thing that a lot of people don't know. Hip hop did not come. And you know what? That's another video. But you know who introduced hip hop to the world? A woman. A woman. But that's another video that I got. That's why I like to do my research. Hip hop has been out for centuries, y'all. But you know what? We only come to find out about it, and it only became, famous, you know what I'm saying, in the late 70s in Georgia. There was a Jamaican man standing by a record store, and he started spitting, and a lady heard the man, and she asked him, "What is that?" And he was like, "I'm spitting." You know what I'm saying? But gladly, New York was the one that created the hip hop Bible, and that's when you got artists like KRS-One and oh my God, what's his name? Big Daddy Kane and all them other boys, you know what I'm saying? Rakim, and you got all them other stars that came within the New York era, and that's what made hip hop what it is today. You understand? And the corporations and the elites and millionaires did not have no importance. They didn't give a fuck about hip hop. They couldn't stand it. But once they saw that hip hop was making money, it was making noise, it was making attributes around the United States, and it was touching base with people in other countries, that's when they started taking matter into hip hop. That's when they started, you know what I'm saying, playing rappers with their catalogs, their publishings, their masters, and rappers back then didn't know what the fuck that was. They didn't know what publishing and all that shit was. Now that they know, if they would have known that shit back then, man, hip hop would have taken over way before it started taking over. You understand what I'm saying? So you see, the elites have a way of incorporating things, and especially when they want possession of something that belongs to you. And I'm going to tell you something. They wanted nothing to do with hip hop. But since we're living in a world that is conspired and so much devilish and so much diabolical rituals and in so much sacrifices, they overturned it and say, you know what, fuck rock and roll. Let's start doing it with hip hop now. I want to go live, but I don't have 50 subscribers yet. You'll get there, my dog. Believe me, you'll get there. Look at me. I got almost 900 subscribers, and I barely got anyone but you. You know what I'm saying? Just vibing with me, and I want to thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it takes time, you know what I'm saying? Some people grow quick, some people it takes time, and I've been in YouTube for a long time, but I stopped, you know what I'm saying? Like I left for a couple years, and I'm just recently coming back doing my thing. But I'm gonna tell you, son, when it comes to them overturning rock and roll and singing, like R&B and blues and oldies, because remember, the Illuminati have been around. I'm talking about the Gladys Knights era, the Michael Jacksons, the Al Greens, the Smokey Robinsons, you know what I'm saying? The oh my God, the Aretha Franklins and all them times. Yeah, they've been collecting souls for decades. You know what I'm saying? And not only with back in them era, but they've been doing it with actors, just like they transformed it and they moved to hip hop because they saw that hip hop was doing things that rock and roll started doing when they first came out. Why do you think that the rock and roll band Nirvana, and I'm talking about Kurt Cobain, when he started talking about these people, just like Metallica, when they started talking about these people, just like John Lennon, when he started talking about these people, what happened to John Lennon? He got assassinated. What happened to the lead singer of Linkin Park talking about them? Supposedly he committed suicide. Bullshit. He was just exposing these people. You understand? So you see, once you start making it big in the music industry and especially in hip hop, there's a code and there's a hush hush that you must follow. If you don't follow that hush hush, they will slowly but surely take you out the picture. First, they start giving your name a bad character. They start downsizing your name. You start getting in trouble with the law. Next thing you start getting arrested. Next thing you know, they seizing your bank accounts. Next thing you know, one of your peoples is getting killed or one of your peoples is getting sacrificed. Next thing you know, we don't even hear from you because that's how much power these people got. But as long as you continue doing what they want you to do, you have no problems. Oh, what's up, big dog? Thank you so much for coming, D. Clark. I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Hey, my Cash App is also on my channel page. Y'all can see the description right there on my page. If y'all feel free to donate, man, I'll appreciate that too. If y'all don't, I still love y'all. And thank you for chilling and vibing with me, man. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, man, that's how Illuminati works. But the thing is this. It's so unreversed when it comes to the point how they never cared at one point how hip-hop was even orchestrated, how hip-hop was brought up, and what made hip-hop to what it was, to the point to where they saw it growing and growing. Once they saw that they were able to do distributions, collaborations, and they were able to do what they were doing with oldies and rock and roll and love songs, things to that perspective, that's when they took matter into hip hop. And they always did the same thing with the most famous love singer, the most famous oldie singer, the most famous jazz musician, the most famous lady singer, just like the most famous rapper. You're going to give us your soul. You're going to do as we tell you. Okay, you want us to give you this? Well, you got to do this. You want us to give you that? Well, you got to do this. You want us to give you that? Well, you got to sacrifice this. Why you think Rick Ross got that song saying, chill, what he said? Hold on. It's me chilling in my Bugatti, and I'm already something like the Overdose. When I'm chilling in my Bugatti, they knocking on the door, don't let the devil in. And who's featured on that song? Puff Daddy. And he's telling Rick Ross, you will have to sacrifice something with the success that they are giving you. Because I'm going to tell you something. Most rappers, when they first go in, they have no idea what they're getting themselves into. But they seeking fame and they seeking fortune and they seeking that way out the door to make it out the ghetto, make it out the projects, make it out the hood, and seeking opportunities for more doors to open. They don't realize that they just signed their life over to a fucking corporation and a fucking elite group that wants you and want to control your life in every aspect of every day that you can think of. Beyonce got fucking videos saying, why was I born with this gift? Please take this gift away from me. I don't want to go through this no more. I don't want to be this way no more. Why? And the reason why is because Beyonce was put just like Lil Wayne, and just like many others, they call it the humiliation ritual. When you go through a humiliation ritual, they'll do you just like they did, you know what I'm saying, Cat Williams or fucking Kanye West and so many others, like they did now with P. Diddy. Why? Because he went against a brand that was giving him $600 million. You can't go against about these people. And if you do, look what happens to you. Look what's going on with Drake. If Drake would have never taken them people to court and Drake would have never mentioned them people doing payola and boxing shit like that, Drake still would have been making the type of money that he was doing when, UMG was doing payola and bops and all that. But since he fucked around with the rituals perspectives, now Drake ain't barely even heard of. That's exactly why. That's exactly why nobody who ever thinks that they're not going to get into the world. And there's a physic world where the Illuminati already has your life planned. They already know what they're going to do with you. Oh, you a rapper. Come here. I want you to dress like this. I want you to talk like this. I want you to rap about this. I want you to throw these symbols. I want you to, make that circle and put it around your eye. You know what I'm saying? I want you, look at Little X Nas. Come on, man. It's like rapping now, it's just in a league of its own where it's being so disrespected. You know what I'm saying? Rap and hip hop is not even what it is no more. At one time, rap was so respected and it was so beloved to the point where that you couldn't have no police. No police, no Illuminati, nobody controlling it. Now it's these corporates, it's these elite monsters that control every aspect of hip hop. And let me tell you something, they're going to continue doing it until hip hop goes broke. And there's nothing that nobody can do anything about. And that's the thing when it comes to all these industries that are facilitated and are collaborated into the Illuminati world. And a lot of people might say, man, that's bullshit. Illuminati don't exist. These people don't exist. Well, if you ever heard of a spot called the Bohemian Grove, you got 2,500 people that live in the Bohemian Grove. And you know who these people are? The most wealthiest people in the world. 2,500 of them. They have over $100 billion plus. You know what they do there? They do rituals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Alex Jones, when he exposed Jay-Z, when he exposed Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Epstein, and all them people. Yes. And guess what? The president can't even go over there uninvited. He has to let them know, and he can only go over there twice. And he cannot go there with his bodyguards, with his security. He has to go over there by himself. You know why? Because they sit with him a week in the Bohemian Grove, and they tell him everything, how they want the United States to be run, and he has to do it. And guess what? No phones, no cameras, nothing is allowed in the Bohemian Grove. Y'all ain't know about that? Y'all better do y'all research. And this is where some of the most rituals and most diabolical Illuminati rituals are taking parts of. In the Bohemian Grove, they stay it's so off the grid that not even satellites from outer space can catch it. The only way you will know is if one member that's a billionaire from that perspective that knows another billionaire that stays there that will tell the president or anyone that's within that fucking family to let them know, hey, bring him over here, because they are not allowed over there. And it's 2,500 of them that stay in the Bohemian Grove. Y'all go ahead and study that if y'all think I'm bullshitting. Yeah, look it up, big dog. Look it up. It's called the Bohemian Grove in California, deep in the valley in California. They can't even spot it, even if they wanted to. And the reason why is because the most wealthiest people don't want you to know. They don't want you to know anything. But the president of the United States is invited twice a year to go over there. And that's basically, he can't go over there with security. He can't do a fucking thing. And he has to sit down and listen to these people and how they want their shit done. And he better fucking do it. Their security is so tight that they have a perimeter, I say about a range of almost $10 million in security on a monthly basis. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, come on, man. Who is willing to pay that much? You know why? Because they want to keep that private. They want to keep it secretly. They want to keep that preserved to nobody to know. And guess what? Some of the most famous people have visited there. And guess what? When they go over there, they come back and they're not the same. They're not the same. Alex Jones almost got killed going over there and exposing it. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z was over there. And one of Jay-Z's mentors, which is a woman that basically decapitates babies and shit, y'all need to look that up too. You know what I mean? So you see, these are the reasons why these hip hop moguls and icons have gained power and stayed in power for so long, because they follow their rituals, they follow the rules, they follow the code, they follow everything that is being told to them. When you don't follow these rules, guess what happens to you? You get taken out, man. Or they put you in a scenario like Kanye West. But guess what? Kanye West was able to make it out. Don't you know? When Kanye West exposed Jay-Z and the elites and all that, they took everything away. The only thing they couldn't take away from him was his clothing design and his fucking, his brand. They couldn't take it away because he paid with his own money. So he said, fuck it. Y'all can keep that shit. Y'all can keep that half that y'all gave me. So he grabbed all of his savings, everything he had, and he branched it into his brand. Now, Kanye is almost worth $3 billion. And they hate the fact because they wanted him gone. So you see, a video I came across on TikTok about rappers that had to escape from his car after almost getting trapped. He was saved by mailman or something. I'm gonna tell you something. However they can trap you, however they can get you to surrender, however they can take you out, however they can turn your TV off, like Kendrick Lamar says, however they can expose you to be exploited in any type of shape, way, or form without them being looked at as the suspect or the people that conducted it, the elites will make it happen. Haven't you ever heard that song by Rick Ross? And Jay-Z? It's called Freemason. How they talk about how in the intro of the song, Rick Ross says how soldiers see the sun at midnight. Well, JFK had a similar, you know what I'm saying, presidential conference meeting in the White House, and he said how this dark cult organization, their sun is at midnight. And guess what happened for JFK for exposing these elites? He got assassinated. Then his brother got assassinated. It's like the JFKs, they grew with the biggest bad luck in presidential and in the White House in history because they exposed them. So you see, no one is safe when it comes to these people. See, somewhere in California, exactly my point. But you see, the Bohemian Grove is in California. I mean, deep in the valley, away from the city, away from everybody. Why? Because these are the most powerful people that run that. And they want to keep it that way. They establish it that way. It's so beautiful over there. Oh, bruh. Listen. For it not to be caught offside any satellite that's out the earth, that's got to speak volumes. It's got to say a lot. And I seen the video of the person who exposed it. And let me tell you something. I still got the video. You know what I mean? But the only thing is, every time I put it on YouTube, they take it out. Or they strike me. But I still got it. I saved it on my WhatsApp because, on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? When you want to save shit, you pass it on to WhatsApp or whatever. And every time I do a video to put it out there, they fucking give me a strike every time. So you know that shit is real. So, Tupac said it. Tupac said it best. By exposing these people, it's only going to let them know that I did not sell my soul. And if you don't sell your soul and do exactly what you are obtained to do, you're not going to make it. They're not going to appreciate the fact that they are the ones that are giving you everything because they feel you came to them. You belong to them. You are their property. And if they're giving you millions of dollars and giving you contracts and giving you commercial status and giving you this fucking, favoritism and propaganda and agenda that wants to pertain to being in your category, but in reality, look what happened to Michael Jackson. Look what happened with the record label. Drake always try to say, oh no, I want to fight my record label so artists can be free from the demonic and diabolical, slaverism when it comes to, and capitalism when it comes to music industries and record labels. Bullshit. He was doing it for him. He was doing it because he wanted UMG to pay him $800 million to almost $2.2 billion. You see, Michael Jackson was fighting Sony Records. Look what happened to him. Prince was fighting Sony Records. Look what happened to him. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you cannot go and fuck with the program when the program supposedly are the ones that gave you the spot and the favoritism where you at. They gave you the platform. They gave you the money. They gave you the fame. But you had to do it through rituals. You had to do it through sacrifices. You had to do it through so many things. And it's not in your disposable to like it, but they don't give a fuck. They don't care. Why? Because to the Illuminati, once you belong to them, once you pursue their rituals, and once you condone and their, parties, and you do what you're supposed to do, they'll keep you on top of the world. They will make sure that you always have what you need. But once you go against the program, once you go against your rituals, once you go against the promise that you kept of you not ever breaking and exposing what you had to do to get there, or you taken out, bruh. There is no other way for me to put it. And this is something that a lot of these young rappers and hip hop artists need to study. Look at, I just said this. Look at Lil X Nas. Do you see the fuckery and the bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Fucking coming out in pictures with a big ass belly like he pregnant and shit, walking in the streets in his underwears and boots and shit, fucking doing hip hop videos with fucking horses, wearing pink and shit, and then coming out with Nike brand shoes, 666. It's all part of the brand. It's all part of the brand. At one time, back then, you couldn't do that. Why? Because it was so secretive. It was so not into, hey, let's keep our fucking secret in a hush. We're not going to expose anything, but let's make sure that we put God and Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying, in the conversation, in the lobe. So people, you know what I'm saying, will be fooled, but at the same time, they'll think that it's a religion and it's within God and Jesus Christ, that their careers and everything that they've done is, because of God and Jesus Christ. Why do you think you got the anti-cross crosses? You got the cross that's, normal, and then you got the cross that's upside down. Because that's what the Antichrist represents. That's what the Illuminati represent. You know what I'm saying? They want to represent all bad, but at the ending of the day, they the ones that want to look good in front of the world. So for everybody that doesn't understand what I just finished saying, y'all just go in and do y'all research, man. The Knights Templars were the ones that started all of this. And you see, the Illuminatis, they're not just people within the industry itself. These are people that are very intellectual, people that are unique, people that are very smart, engineers, scientists, people that work in NASA, fucking government officials, lawyers, doctors, you know what I'm saying? People that have power, big time drug dealers, boxers, actors, rappers. But hip hop is the one taking the major hit when it comes to these sacrifices and rituals. Why? Because as of today, hip hop is making the music industry more money than rock and roll, than love music, than R&B, than fucking alternative music, than oldies, than rave music combined. That's why the Illuminati have hip hop on a string. They got them in a chokehold. Why? Because that's where all the billions of dollars. How you think Jay-Z and Beyonce are billionaires? Y'all just think about that. How you think Puff Daddy is a billionaire? You understand? How you think Dr. Dre is a billionaire? You know what I'm saying? And besides that, you might think they're billionaires, but on top of that, if right now the elite decides to seize their banks, to take away their fame, to take away everything and lock them up, guess what? They could get away with it. Why? Because these are motherfuckers that you will never see. And that's why I'm telling you, they eliminated Tupac for that specific reason. They eliminated Prodigy for that specific reason. You see how K Rhino and Immortal Technique and Hobson are not played in the radio? They don't get no radio time, just like Eminem. And the reason why they don't shut down Eminem, we all know why. But I'm not even going to put it in the perspectives, because in reality, I'll be biased if I say it, but I call it the white privilege. I don't see Eminem like that, because Eminem has stood up for our black brothers and sisters, for our country, for all the races in the world. So you know what? I'm not even going to put Eminem on that, but that's the specific reason they don't want to take Eminem out. Let's call it for what it is. But when it comes to K Rhino, Immortal Technique, and Hobson and other rappers like Prodigy, God bless his soul, that talk about the Illuminati, that talk about the rituals, that talk about everything that happened, they're shut. Oh, they're kept away from the mainstream. They're kept away from the radio stations. They're kept away from people hearing them and for their voices to be heard. Because I guarantee you something. K Rhino and Immortal Technique are two of the greatest spitters and rappers I've ever heard in my life. And they expose everything when it comes to the genocide, when it comes to the Illuminati, to the government, to Monsanto's, to St. Croix, to the FBI, to the wars, to the government. And guess what? They are within what we call brothers within the same struggle. But independently, they make their money, because just like a couple of other artists that do their own thing, you know what I'm saying, without no record labels or no record deals, like a 360 deal, which will fuck up your whole life. Young NBA boy will tell you, if you do a 360 deal, that will fuck your whole career up. That's why he had the most fucked up deal in hip hop history. And for him to get out of it, it almost cost him his life. So you see, this is just a person that understands and knows the gravitation and knows the perspectives and knows the duality of all these demise and deception and manipulation and corruption and diabolical ways that the music industry, when it comes to hip hop, how much of a chokehold and how much power they have over it. Because remember, in the late 70s and 80s, they wanted nothing to do with hip hop. They didn't consider hip hop to being even music. They didn't even like it. Look at Gene Richardson or Richard Gene from Kiss. How he just came out with an interview and said, how is hip-hop artists even being conducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Is any rock and roll artist inducted into the Rap Hall of Fame? They should keep their music over there, and we should keep our music over there. And as you can see, they painted their faces, they painted their tongues, they dressed demonically. Why? Because even Kiss had to follow rituals. Even Kiss had to follow, you know what I'm saying, Illuminati codes and rituals and just the perspectives of what the understanding and the methods were when it came to representing the 666 and the Illuminati. But I'll end this video by just saying this. If you think I'm bullshitting, go ahead and do your homework, and you will see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse because hip hop is going to have somebody that's gonna be quick to sell their soul. They're gonna be quick when it comes to that money, fame, fortune, commercial, brand, millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Tours and all that shit. They're gonna sell their soul quick, not understanding why, how in the fuck, and what in the fuck in the worst situation and the worstest thing and the worst mistake that they've ever done in their life. Now, if you study it and if you understand it and if you decide to promote yourself with people that really care and people that are not going to put you through them rituals and that diabolical rituals and that Freemason satanic shit like they do in the Bohemian Grove or with the secret quotes, then you're better off that way. You understand what I'm saying? But if you decide to join the music industry, you best believe that hip hop is the most hungrier corporation when it comes to these monsters, when it comes to these evil, diabolical people that are fucking powerful as hell to take over you, your life, your everyday aspect, what you do, what you eat, how you live, how you dress, how you talk. And the most important part to always remember, they will forever try and keep your soul. This is your boy Chico Black. Y'all go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Y'all go to my Cash App if y'all want to. But man, I just had to do this video. Thanks to everybody for coming in my chat. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. There's y'all boy. Man, I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.